guest performed earlier this hour. She's been putting out records for 50 years, y'all. The first when she was just 17 years old. She's racked up more than 2.2 billion streams, more than 30 million albums sold. She's a 6-time Grammy Award winner, a Kennedy Center honoree, and a member of the Songwriters Hall of Fame. She's not too shabby, y'all. Her new album, The Me That Remains, is her first since suffering a traumatic brain injury in 2022 after a bicycle accident. Let's welcome back to the stage, Amy Grant. Jesse and I were just discussing how you're unfair. You're unfair. You're like a timeless beauty, and I'm so happy for you. You always have this glow about you. Anyway, we're super fans here. Congrats on the new album.
Thank you.
Yeah. So I love this because you didn't actually set out to make an album in the first place, right? How did it come about?
So 2 years after my bike accident,
yeah,
I was scheduled to go see a neuropsychologist and do testing at Vanderbilt Hospital.
Yeah.
And because they want to have a baseline, and it was a full day of testing. And anyway, the doctor said, we're not like testing the top 10% of Harvard class. You know, he said, these are all people who've been through something.
Yeah.
But we need a baseline for you. And 2 years, they kind of say what's been improved. And anyway, and so lots of testing. I went back the next day, and I felt things were different with me. And I got my test scores, and 90-something, 90-something, and 20-something percentile in the processing.
Yeah.
And I felt it. And he said, how does this reflect in your life? And I said, I can't do the one-liner. I feel like all the action is happening in the living room. I'm down the hall in a side room.
Can't catch up.
I can't catch up. And he said, and I said, I feel myself kind of pulling back a little bit. Touring is great because you're just singing the same songs every night.
Yeah, yeah.
You could not have better therapy than, you know, a schedule and all that. But I said, I feel myself pulling back. And he said, I'm going to tell you, here's my doctor advice. Lean in. He said, lean into life. Lean into everything that gives you sustenance and purpose. Lean in. And so I thought, okay, well, this is what I'm leaning in with, whatever that is.
Yeah.
And I created a space for me to be creative called Crafttopia, not just writing, but I put anything I'd ever painted or drawn. I had
like a space in your house.
Yes, a tiny little space, but I could close the doors and be private.
Yeah.
And the very first thing, I sat down, I only had a child's chair in there, and I sat down and I just wrote.
You didn't even give yourself a big girl chair, you know?
No.
You were like, I'm gonna take this little one.
I was in a child chair.
Yeah.
And I just wrote, coming out of the dark.
Yeah.
Coming out of this cave. It's taken me months of days and years to find my way. It just came straight out. And that wound up being the Me That Remains, the title. And
then you end up having this album after that. There's no better, I know you were saying touring is therapeutic, but I always feel so blessed when I'm going through something so hard. Like being a writer and being able to get in a musician, just getting that out in some form, just out of your body is so important for us all. And like, it's such a blessing to have that. Yeah. I don't know, you say that there's a lesson, and I love this, in your experience. Recovery is a way of life for all, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, if nothing else, just the passage of time, but even a dream that comes true, that kind of comes to fruition, and then it's gone. So you sort of have to grieve that, you know, and then it's like, okay, now I'm starting over. I mean, any woman that ever dreamed of being a mom, you know, at some point that baby moves on.
Yeah.
You can't diaper them forever, you know?
God bless. I was over that stage, Amy.
Yeah.
Like,
but it's just, and that dream, then you kind of have to grieve that happened. It was beautiful, but you're just not meant to stay in the same place for your whole life.
Yeah. So you have another song you sing with your 2 daughters on the album, and it's inspired by your mom, right? Talk about that. It's The Other Side of Goodbye, right?
Yes.
What a great concept title, visual, like the imagery with that. Like, where did the title come from? Did it come first, or did the song come first?
The title came first.
Yeah.
I had a friend of mine, was staying at my house. We were wrapping up a day camp that we'd hosted for 10 summers at our farm. she's a great photographer, and she said, I've got so many photos. And I said, no, it'll just make us cry. I brought her coffee in bed that morning, and I said, we'll look at the photos on the other side of goodbye. And I'm leaving, and she said, that's a song title, write it down.
Yeah, it is.
And I went, oh, okay, yes.
Yeah. See, you said you don't have one-liners. You're a liar. That was a great one. Yeah. I was like, they're there. They're there. Amy's new album is called The Me That Remains. Be sure to pick it up wherever you buy your music.